Okay, so um thank you all so much for 100 subscribers. I can't believe I made it I guess this far. When I first started this, I didn't know what I was doing, but I just had fun with it, and I didn't know it would grow this fast, and it makes me happy that people actually like my videos, and I'm just really thankful for that. I'm happy, even though I don't really sound like it, I really am. Um, so this is gonna be the 100 subscribers special. Um, this is gonna be what if Deku had got one for all earlier, part one. So let's get into it. So for this one, I'm a Deku. He's gonna get the quirk when he is 10 years old. So like when he's in the 5th grade. So so yeah. So Deku, he's in the 5th grade. Everyone, like, he still gets bullied and bullied by Bakugo too. Yeah. So Deku, he's just sitting in class. Sorry if you can hear that. That's my brother downstairs. Anyways. So it's just a regular day in class. Everyone is just they're just talking. And the teacher like says a few things before the day ends, because since this is in like in elementary school, they don't have the same teacher. So yeah, it's like the teacher says a few things, and then they're they're leaving, like this. Then it's the end of the day. Deku, he walks home. He takes that shortcut because I'm gonna say that his elementary school is close to the middle school that he goes to in canon. So yeah, he goes through that same tunnel. The sludge villain attacks him. The sludge villain says, like, "Give me your body, kid. I need to hide away from the creep All Might." So he starts suffocating Deku, and then All Might appears and he says, "I am here." And he throws a Texas Smash or a Detroit Smash. I don't know which one it was, but he throws a smash. It explodes the sludge villain, and I think this is like, I think it was like when Deku was 10 when All Might got his injury. So I'm gonna say this is like a month after he got his injuries, and he's been losing his one for all. So yeah. So All Might says, like, "Are you okay, kid?" And Deku is like freaking out, like geeking out, like especially more because he's young and all that, I guess. So he says, like, "Can I get your autograph?" And All Might says, "Look in your notebook." And Deku, he looks at it, and he sees it's signed, and he says thank you, thank you, thank you, like so many times. And All Might says, like, have a good day, kid. I'll have to bring this villain to the police station. Deku, like, he says, wait. And, like, when All Might jumps off, Deku grabs onto his leg. All Might lands on the building. And then he says, like, "That was really dangerous, kid. Like, you could have died." And Deku says, "I know, but I had to ask you this important this question." And All Might says, "What is it, kid?" And Deku says, "Can I be a hero without a quirk?" All Might thinks for a minute, and he says, like, "No, like, some villains in the world cannot be stopped without a quirk. You can be a police officer, but like an actual pro hero, I don't think you can." Deku, he's sad, because his All Might told him, his favorite hero told him that he can't become a hero. But then, since his injury, is only like he recently just got his injuries, so I'm gonna say that it just started to hurt, and he buffs down. And Deku says, like, "Oh, you're not the real All Might, like, you're an imposter." And All Might says, no, no, I'm the real All Might. And then he explains his injury. And he says, like, about a month ago, I got this injury. I'm sorry if you can hear that. That's my mom. So, yeah, like, All Might explains his injury, like, how he got it a month ago. And yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, so yeah, All Might explains his injury, and then they hear an explosion. Like, it's not as big as the one in canon, but they still hear an explosion, and then both of them rush over there. Deku sees Bakugo with the sludge villain. Bakugo's throwing explosions, but not as big as the ones in canon. And Deku's thinking, like, this is all my fault. If I didn't grab onto All Might's leg, this would never happen. And All Might is thinking, like, oh, rookie mistake. I let the villain get away. And then Deku in his head, like, is thinking, I have to do something. And then he runs he starts running towards the sludge villain and Bakugo. The heroes, I want to say that they're not the same ones as in canon. I want to say they're different heroes, like some random heroes, and like they're saying, like, kid, get away from there, like you can die. And like Deku throws his backpack at the sludge villain, and he starts trying to grab Bakugo. And Bakugo's saying, like, what are you doing here, Deku? I don't need your help. And Deku just says, like, I'm sorry, I couldn't just watch you die. And then All Might gets, like, just when he hears this, because honestly he has just super hearing, so he hears this, and he's like thinking, like, he can be a worthy candidate for my quirk. Eventually, All Might busts up and takes down the sludge villain. Deku gets scolded for, like, running into the villain and all that. Deku, he's walking home, but All Might stops him. He's saying, like, young man, I saw what you did today. That was very brave of you. And then he just busts down. And then he says, like, I think you're a worthy candidate. And, like, and I was wrong about you. Like, you can become a hero. And Deku, he would just start crying like he did in canon. And All Might would tell Deku, like, you can become a hero, and I'll grant you my power. And Deku, he's like confused. He's like, huh? What? And All Might explains his like one for all, and how he gets stronger by generation. And Deku, All Might says, like, do you accept my power or my quirk? And Deku says, yeah, I do. So All Might says, perfect. Meet me at Deku Beach tomorrow at 8 a.m. Deku says, okay. And yeah, so it's the next day. Deku arrives to Deku Beach. All Might's there. He's buffed down. And I want to say that there's still a lot of trash at the beach, but not, like, just a little bit less than there was in canon, just a little bit. But it's still a lot for Deku, since he's only 10 years old. So All Might explains, like, you're gonna be cleaning this beach. And Deku says, like, is this like part of my training? All Might says, yes, you're training and you're doing something for the neighborhood and the environment. And Deku says, like, why can't you just give me your quirk now? And All Might would explain, like, if I did, your arms and legs would explode off. And Deku gets scared of that. So, and then Deku, he starts to train. Like, he starts cleaning up the beach and train and all that. And by 10 months, he has cleaned up No, I'm gonna say, yeah, 10 months. Like, by 10 months, Deku already cleaned up the beach. He's ripped, like, like, I'm gonna say more muscular. No, the same amount of muscular, but it just shows more. It shows more because Deku's younger. Like, his muscles show more. And then All Might says, like, you did it, young Midoriya. Like, now you're ready for my quirk. And then All Might plucks a hair and he says, eat this. And Deku says, huh? And All Might would say, in order to gain my power, you have to eat some of my DNA. And Deku would say, oh, okay. So he swallows the hair. And sorry about that. So for the next so I'm gonna say for the next 2 months he would learn how to use the power. For the next 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. He would already know full counting and all that. And All Might's time limit would go down to 1 hour per day. And yeah. So he would learn full counting, shoot style, and all that. And I'm gonna say that he can control I'm gonna say 60% of One For All. That might be a lot, but I'm trying to make Deku OP in this one. So he can control 60% of One For All. And yeah, so and in school Deku has been like he's getting like more popular because everyone like people are saying like, oh, you have a cool quirk. And Bakugo just gets mad because like, but I have the cooler quirk. Deku, you will always be weaker than me. And Deku would just agree with this, but he would still want to be stronger than Bakugo. So yeah, so it's 4 years later and all that. It's the start of the anime. Deku, he's really muscular. I'm gonna say that he's a bit taller. He's like the same height as Bakugo. And yeah. And so the teacher comes in and says, so I have some papers here for you guys to fill out for what jobs you want to have in the future. And then he says, why bother? I know you all want to become heroes. And they get excited. The class gets excited. Bakugo does his whole speech. It's like, I'm better than everyone. And then someone says, but Deku, he's strong too. Like, he's stronger than you. Then he looks back at the kid and looks back at Deku. Deku, he's just writing something in his notebook. And he says, like, Deku, he's not stronger than me. And I must say that Deku and Bakugo have fought before. And, like, half the time Deku has won, and half the time Bakugo has won. So everyone is debating who is the strongest one, Deku or Bakugo. And then the teacher says, like, oh, like, I see Bakugo, you want to go to UA. And Bakugo says, like, yeah, I'm the only one who has a chance of going into UA. And the teacher says, oh, Midoriya, you also want to go to UA too. And Deku says, yeah, I do. Because Deku's more confident in this one. And yeah. And since Deku got One For All early, Bakugo, he's a lot stronger in this one. I'm gonna say that he's as strong as season 2 Bakugo. So yeah. And it's the end of the day. Deku, he just walks home since the sludge villain happened earlier, and like when he was 10, it wouldn't happen. He would just go back. He would just call up All Might and like ask for him if he can train with him. All Might says no, I have to do more hero work. Like, my time limit is up, so I can't do anything right now. Deku says, oh, okay. So Deku, he goes home. he tells his mom that he will be going to a gym to work out. His mom says okay. And yeah. And so he works out at the gym, he comes back, and for the next 10 months, he would be training how to use his one for all. And yeah, so he will learn more ways to like use it. He will learn how to become more faster. What else? I'm gonna say that he would learn an ability. He will learn how to shoot lightning out of his hands. Because I want him to. And I think he would, and I'm gonna say that. Actually, no, I'll save that for later. I'm gonna save something for later. So yeah, I'm gonna say that. Yeah. So he would train for the next 10 months, and then the entrance exam would happen. So the written test, it nails that, because I'm gonna say he gets a higher score. And the robot test, it's starting. Deku, he's warming up. He gets to a running stance, and then he uses 20% of one for all to like run past everyone. It's like lightning shooting out of his body. He's just punching robots, and like he's punching every robot he can find. Everyone's shocked, including the teachers that are watching, like saying like, what is this? What's this kid's quirk? Like, it's really strong. And let's say that All Might's there. He's smiling, and in his head he's saying, "Nice job, young Midoriya. You're doing great." And Deku, he would rack up 100 points, and then the 0-pointer would come. No, actually more, like 120 points. Yeah. Then the 0-pointer would come. Deku, he sees Uraraka trapped under the rubble. He starts running. He jumps up, like lightning is shooting off of his body everywhere. Then he uses, I'm gonna use 20% of one for all to punch the robot. It does more damage to the robot, like twice as much. Deku, he's falling down. And I'm gonna say that Deku, he doesn't break his bones. He doesn't break his bones anymore. I forgot to mention that. But if he goes over 60%, if he goes over 65%, his bones would start breaking. And like if he goes over 60%, his bones would, like his muscles would starting to restrain him from doing anything. So yeah. Deku, he's falling. Uraraka saves him. And then it's the end of that. A week later, Deku, he gets his acceptance letter, and All Might's there, and he's saying like, "Nice job, young Midoriya. Like, you managed to take the top spot in the entrance exam." And yeah. So, and then he's like, and All Might's congratulating him, and he says, "Meet me at Deku Beach. Meet me at Deku Beach in 1 hour." And Deku, he goes there. He sings like, "Oh, what's up, All Might?" And All Might, he's buffed down. He's like in a small might, and he says, "Congrats on passing." And Deku says, "Thanks, I couldn't done it without you." Yeah. And All Might would ask him like, "How have you been doing in your training? Have you learned anything yet?" And Deku would say, "Yeah, I've been learning, I've been learning a new attack. And All Might says, "Really, what? Like, what is it?" And then Deku, he would start shooting lightning out of his hands. Like, he would shoot it towards like the sand, and it'll make a explosion. And All Might says like, "Whoa, that's pretty impressive. Like, even I never thought of doing that." And Deku would say, "Thank you, All Might." And then All Might would say like, no problem, young Midoriya. But go back home. Like, tomorrow is the first day of UA. You better get plenty of rest. So yeah, so Deku, he goes home the next day. It's UA. It's the first day of school. Deku, he walks into class. He sees everyone. Bakugo and Ida are arguing and all that. Bakugo sees Deku. He gets really mad and says like, "What are you doing here, Deku?" And Deku says like, "Oh, this is my class." And Bakugo says like, "I can't believe I'm in the same class as you, Deku." And then Ida walks up to Deku and he congratulates him on getting first place and all that. And then Bakugo hears this and he says, "Wait, you beat me?" And Deku says, "Yeah." And Bakugo just gets mad. And then Aizawa would come in and he says, like, "Get changed and meet me outside." I would say that when they're changing, Deku has the same scars as in canon. Like, he has that big scar on his right arm, and like scars on his left arm and all that. So everyone's like seeing like all these scars on Deku, and like they're asking him like, what happened, and Deku would say, "Oh, it's just training." And everyone was saying like, "You must have gone through a lot of training." And Deku says, "Yeah, I have." And then they go outside. As then Aizawa explains the quirk assessment test. And he throws the ball to Deku, and he tells him to throw the softball as hard as you can using your quirk. Deku says okay. So he would start using one for all. Electricity would start shooting off of him. He would throw it with 50%, and it would reach, I must say, 2,500 meters. And everyone's shocked. Like, Bakugo, he's mad, and he starts charging at Deku, but Aizawa would stop him with his scarf and all that. And then Deku, and then he would just basically like beat everyone. He would get first place in every test and all that. So yeah. Then it's the heroes versus villains. All Might comes in, and he explains like what they're doing, and the hero costumes. And when they're all walking out, Deku, he's just talking with All Might, and everyone's seeing this and like saying like, do they know each other? And like when they're changing in the locker rooms, all the boys, they come up to Deku and saying like, "You don't know All Might?" And Deku says, "Yeah, I've talked to him a couple of times." And they're just saying like, "Really? Like, you must be like, he must like you." And All Might says like, Deku says, "Yeah, I guess he does." And then Deku, his hero costume is the same one as in canon, not the first one, the second one, the one that he has right now, but not ripped. I guess, yeah, not ripped and all that. So that's his hero costume. So yeah, so then All Might explains what they're doing. Same pairs as in canon. Deku and Uraraka versus Bakugo and Ida. Bakugo looks at Deku and he says like, "I'm gonna beat you, Deku." And Deku says like, "Whatever you say, Bakugo." And then it starts. Deku and Uraraka are walking in. And then Bakugo comes out, and Deku tells Uraraka to run and go get the bomb. And then Deku, with a would dodge the explosion and throw a 10% punch at Bakugo's chest, sending him flying to a wall. And Bakugo says, like, do you think that's gonna be enough to take me down? And then he starts charging, and Deku starts charging at him. And they would start fighting, and Deku, he would go for a punch, and Bakugo would go to like block it, but Deku would throw a secret, like, a kick at him, and like sending him, like, knocking him out and sending him to a wall. So yeah, Bakugo, and then no, Deku, he ties Bakugo up with the capture tape, and then he goes with Uraraka. He meets up with her pretty quick, and then Deku says, like, oh, so the bomb's in there. Uraraka says, yeah. Deku says, I'll distract Ito while you go get the bomb. Uraraka says, okay. So Deku, he opens the door, and he's about to get kicked in the face by Ito. But Deku, I'm gonna say that since he has one for all, like, he got one for all. His vision, like the way he sees things, he can slow down time. Like, for him, so he would see the kick coming, so he would just dodge it. Then Ito would and Deku would start fighting. Eventually, Uraraka would get the bomb, and then All Might would say, "Hero team wins." So yeah, they win the thing, that the Heroes versus Villain test. So yeah, so so the USJ, so everyone's on the bus. They're talking about their quirks. Suyu, I'm sorry if you can hear that. That's my brother. So anyways, Sue asked Deku about his quirk, and like, I want to say that, like, she says, like, it's kind of similar to All Might's, and Deku says, like, really, really, I don't really think so. Like I have electricity. I have like an enhancement type quirk, and we don't even know what All Might's quirk is. So how can you know that it's? How can you tell it's similar? And Sue would say, like, yeah, you're right. And yeah, they get there. They meet 13. She explains the USJ. Then the villains come. Aizawa would say, get back, like, this is not a test, these are real villains. He would jump down to fight them. Deku would jump down too. He would start fighting the villains using 15% of One for All and full cowling. He would start punching and kicking the villains, knocking them out. And Shigaraki would say, Nomu, kill that kid. The Nomu, like, appears right in front of Deku, and Deku gets punched in the face, like, sending him flying across the USJ. Deku gets up. He's bleeding a little bit. And then Deku says, like, so you're a lot stronger than you look. Then he kicks it up to 20%. 25% of One for All. He would go for a punch, but it does nothing. And Shigaraki would say, like, you can't do anything against it. It has shock absorption. It has regeneration. It was made to kill All Might. And Deku says, like, this thing was made to kill All Might, like, but it must have a weakness. Then Deku sees the brain, and like, Deku is saying, like that has to be his weak spot. So Deku he would be fighting the Nomu. His punches wouldn't do anything, so he would, like, push it to 60% of One for All. So he's, like, moving really fast. Yeah, and eventually he would punch the Nomu's brain, and it would, like, would explode, and the Nomu would die. And Shigaraki would get mad and say, like, Kirigiri, like, get us out of here. And yeah, All Might, he would arrive, and then the rest of the heroes would arrive. They would arrest the villains and all that. All Might talks with Deku in privately, and he asks like, "What happened, young Midoriya?" Then Deku would explain like these villains came, ambushed us, and there was a creature that they said that it was made to kill you. And All Might's like saying like kind of like shocked, and he's thinking like, maybe All For One is behind this. And Deku I forgot to mention that All Might already told Deku about All For One. I forgot to mention that. Sorry. So then Deku asks like, "Do you think All For One's behind this?" And All Might would say, "Possibly. Like, maybe he's back. I don't know. I thought like I ended him, but he may be back. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye out." And Deku says, "Okay." So yeah, the sports festival. Yeah, the sports festival. So everyone they're in the stadium thing. Midnight is saying like, the first obstacle is a race, and then everyone's like getting ready. I want to say that Todoroki, he would pull Deku aside like he did in canon, like saying like, I'm gonna beat you with only using my ice. Deku says like, "Okay, have fun trying." Then, yeah, and Midnight would say go, and Deku, he would use 30% of One For All, and he was just blitz everyone. Todoroki's ice attack ice thing wouldn't work on Deku. Yeah. So Deku, he's running. He gets to the robot. He punches one of them, and like he punches the air, and like sending a huge gust of wind at the other two, making them fall. Then Deku continues running. He gets to the canyon thing, the big hole. He jumps to pillar to pillar. The lion mines. He uses 40% of One For All to just run across the landmines, and Deku would get first place. And the cavalry battle, Deku, he would get the same team as in canon, and Todoroki would try to go for the headband by using ice attacks. And I'm gonna say that before the match started, Deku, he switched out the headbands with like someone else's, like Tokoyami's or whatever, so people would think that he would have the 10 million on his head, but really he had a different one. Like, so yeah, so when Ida used his reciprocal burst and Todoroki grabbed the headband, he would think like, I got the 10 million points. And he would look at it, and it would say like 150, I guess. And Todoroki would say, "Wait, what?" Like, and Deku would say, "We switched the headbands, so people would think I had the 10 million in my hand, on my head. So thanks for taking the bait." And they would just leave. Todoroki would get like mad. Bakugo would try to go for the 10 million points, but Monoma would stop, and they would have their whole encounter thing, and Deku would get first place in that one too, keeping his 10 million points. So then the one-on-one fights, Deku versus Shinso. Shinso saying like, "Oh, like you were born with an amazing quirk. I only have a really weak quirk," and people were saying like it's villainous. And then Deku would talk to him like saying like, "Your quirk is not villainous. It's like your quirk is not villainous. It's the way you use your quirk makes it villainous. And Shinso would say, like, gotcha. He would brainwash Deku, but immediately Deku would just snap out of it with a flick of his finger. He would just snap out of it. Shinso would say, wait, what? And Deku would say, your quirk is mind control. That won't work on me anymore. And then Deku just blitzes Shinso, punching him with a 20% punch, sending him into a wall, and knocking him out. Deku wins that one. Deku versus Todoroki. Todoroki, he would start shooting ice attacks, and Deku would shoot lightning at it. Sorry if you can hear that. That's my mom. So Todoroki, he's shooting ice attacks. Deku shooting lightning out of his hands, so they would explode. And Deku, he's not even using like his full power. And Todoroki notices this, and he says, like, why aren't you using your full power? And Deku says, if you're not gonna use it, I'm not gonna use it either. So he would get up close to Todoroki, and he would punch him with a 10% punch. And Deku would say, like it's your quirk, it's not your dad's. Like, you can use it however you want to be, however you want it. And then Todoroki would use his fire, and he would get into that stance. Deku would get into like a similar the stance right here in the picture, but except without Eri, and like electricity's going all around him. His hair stands up and all that. There's a lot more air pressure, like it's breaking the ring. And then I'm gonna say that Deku, he jumps, and he does a 60% smash. Todoroki would, before that, Todoroki would shoot his ice attack. Deku would jump over that, and Deku would start charging up his 60% smash, and Todoroki would use his fire attack, but the cement toss, he would create those walls and a bigger like explosion, like I'm gonna say 3 times bigger than the one in canon. So like there's more destruction, like there's more air pressure around him. Everyone's like getting like pushed back away from their seats and all that. And it takes like 5 minutes just for everything to calm down. They see Deku, he's standing in the middle of the ring, and Todoroki, he's out of the ring, and he's knocked out. And then Midnight would say, like, Midoriya wins. And yeah. So Deku versus Bakugo. Deku, he would start using 20% of One For All at the start. Bakugo would start using an explosions, all that. And eventually, Bakugo would say, like, I've had enough of this. And then he would start using his howitzer impact. And it's a lot stronger than the one in canon. It's like twice as strong. So Deku, he would when Bakugo would land a hit, like Deku would immediately like charge up to 60% and like dodge it, and he would start like flying around the ring, and he would do that big smash, like a really big smash towards Bakugo. Not the one like he did with Overhaul, but like he would be shooting down from the sky, and he would punch Bakugo to the ground, and making a huge explosion. And Bakugo's knocked out. Deku, he is the winner of the sports festival. Yeah. So yeah, Deku, he gets the award. Deku, I mean, All Might would say, "I'm so proud of you. You worked so hard," and all that. And Deku says, "Thank you, All Might." And then it's the next day. The internships. Deku, he would have the most, because everyone has like all the heroes seen like what he can do, and they all want him on his at their agency and all that. Deku, he would. Oh yeah, I forgot about Gran Torino. I forgot that Deku already knew about Gran Torino. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's how we learned folk howling by Gran Torino. I just forgot. I'm sorry about that. So I want to say that he chooses Gran Torino as in canon, and Gran Torino's so Gran Torino's training is a lot more than what Deku did in canon. Deku would like be like doing like non-stop workouts and all that, and trying to improve his quirk. And then after like a day, Gran Torino would say, "Okay, it's time to fight villains." Deku would say, "Okay." And then they're on the train. The Nomu attacks. Gran Torino would say, "Stay back, Deku. Like, I'll take care of this." And then he would start fighting the Nomu. He would jump out of the train and start fighting the Nomu. Deku would jump out of the train and he would see Hoso City on fire. So yeah, he would use 40% of one throw and starts running towards Hoso City. He sees the fire everywhere and everyone's like fighting, like heroes are fighting the Nomus and all that. And yeah, and Deku, he did hear about Ida, his brother, and all that, and he sees a manual. It's like saying like, Ida, where are you? Deku says, "Oh no," and he starts looking for Ida. He does find him, and with Stain's about to stab him. Deku, he throws a 10% kick at Stain, like sending him to a wall. And Ida saying like, "What are you doing here? This is my business. Like, get out of here." Deku says like, a hero doesn't leave anyone. Like, a hero saves anyone, even though they don't want to be saved and all that. And Deku, he would start fighting Stain and all that. Deku, he would eventually like knock Stain out. And then he would get Ida, Stain, and Native out of there. And yeah. Yeah. So it would be the end of that. What else? Oh yeah, the Nomu thing. So the Nomu, it would grab Deku, but Deku, he would shoot electricity in it, like towards its brain, and the Nomu would die. Deku is falling, but his like, he would start flying, and he would like notice this, and he says like, "What? I can fly? This is new. I have to report. I have to tell All Might about this." And he flies back to the heroes, and he says, and he asks like, "Is everyone okay?" and all that. And they're saying like, "Yeah," and then they take Ida to the hospital. Yeah, and then Deku like starts explaining like what Ida did was wrong and really stupid. And Ida would say like, "I'm sorry, I'll never do that again." So yeah. This was my 100 subscriber special. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. I'm sorry about that random cut. The recording just cut, and I didn't realize it, so I had to re-record this little part. I'm just sorry about that. Anyways, so where I left, so it was like the Nomu just grabbed Deku, and Deku, he would shoot lightning towards the Nomu's brain, and the Nomu, like it would die and it would start falling. Deku would, like, out of nowhere, was just start flying. And like Deku's like thinking like, fly, like how can I fly, like, this is new. I have to tell All Might about this. So he flies towards the rest of the heroes. They're saying like, are you okay, Deku, and all that. And Deku says like, yeah, I'm fine. And then Deku, he takes Ida to the hospital. Then he explains how stupid Ida was, like, going after Stain and all that. And Ida's saying like, I'm sorry, I won't do it ever again. So yeah, after that, it is the, what was it? Oh yeah, the tests, the final exams. So yeah, it's the final exams. Like, they're back. I'm gonna say. So everyone's saying like, that was really stupid of you going after the stain and all that. And then Aizawa would come in and saying like, you guys have the final exams, be ready. And yeah, the same groups, Deku and Bakugo versus All Might. And so yeah, Bakugo, he's mad at Deku because he beat him in the sports festival. And Deku, he's trying to plan out something with him. He's trying to talk to him. Bakugo, he just ignores him and says like, stop following me and leave me alone. Then All Might would jump down, and then Bakugo would start charging at him. He would throw an explosion. It wouldn't do anything to All Might. So All Might would grab Bakugo's face and slam him towards the ground and throw him to a building. That would knock him out. And then he would say like, one down, one more to go. Deku, he powers up to 40% and he would throw a punch at All Might. All Might would throw a punch at him, and they would collide, making a shockwave. And All Might saying like, you're doing a good job on the young Midoriya with One for All. Deku was saying like, thanks, All Might. And like, they would start fighting. Deku would start throwing kicks and catching All Might off guard. And yeah, eventually All Might Bakugo would wake up and he says, damn it, I got knocked out. And he sees Deku and All Might fighting. And Bakugo, he's saying like, damn it, I can't let Deku win this. So he would start charging out All Might. All Might would hear this. All Might would throw a smash at Bakugo and sending him flying back into a building. Deku, he would start jumping. He would start running in a circle, like running around All Might, like building up speed so he can throw lightning like how the Flash does, but his lightning would be a lot stronger. So he would be running around All Might. Then he would stop and throw the huge lightning bolt at All Might. This would send All Might like flying back. And Deku, he would start running towards All Might. He would put the handcuffs on him. And then the Nezu speaker thing says like, congratulations, you passed the final exam. And then All Might like saying like, well done, young Midoriya. And Deku says thanks, but I have to tell you about something. I'll tell you later. All Might would say, oh, okay. So it's later that day. Deku is talking to All Might about how he's been learning able to fly. And All Might is thinking like maybe he's unlocking the other quirks of the previous users and all that. He's mumbling to it himself, and Deku's saying like, what are you saying, All Might? and All Might's saying like, you may have possibly unlocked one of the, like a quirk from one of the previous successors, and Deku's saying like, really, I can do that, and All Might says, I'm not 100% sure, but it seems that since you are pretty strong and the quirk has evolved so many times that I'm not surprised. And the 7th user to One For All had a quirk called Float. And since the quirk is a stockpiling quirk, it would be able to take quirks or copy the quirks and give them to another user. And I think you're the one who unlocked it. And since you're pretty strong already, I think you're One For All and the quirk fused together to make a stronger quirk. So you're able to fly instead of just floating around. Deku's saying like, wow, that's pretty awesome. And All Might says like, but I'm not sure, we should test this out. Deku says, okay. So Deku, he would start training with All Might. Then out of nowhere, he would start flying. He would start thinking about flying, and he would start flying. And he's saying like, yes, like I'm starting to learn how to fly. And then out of nowhere, like black tendrils coming out of Deku's wrists, like they're flying everywhere. He doesn't know how to control them. And All Might saying like, Deku, what are you, like, young Midoriya, what are you doing? Deku says, I don't know. Like, this just started happening. And then Deku, like, eventually it would calm down. Deku would be on the ground, like, in pain because he's never experienced something like that. It was like the tendrils were ripping out of his arms. All Might saying like, young Midoriya, what was that? And Deku says, I don't know, but that really hurt. Oh, God. And All Might saying like, so my theory's correct. And Deku saying like, wait, what? And All Might saying like, you're unlocking all the previous users' quirks. And Deku saying, what, really? So I already unlocked 2 quirks. And Deku says, All Might would say, yeah, you already locked my master's, the 7th user's quirk, my master. And I think it was the 5th user's quirk, I think it was. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Deku says, like, that's pretty cool. Like, is there a name for the quirk? And All Might would say, no, I don't remember the name. Deku says, okay, I'll have to name it later then. And then later that day, Deku, he's sleeping. In his sleep, he has a dream. He is talking with the 5th user, One For All. And he's like, the 5th user, One For All, he's saying like, you have unlocked 2 quirks already out of 7, or like 9 out of 7. I think because All Might is quirkless, so it's 2 out of 7, I guess. You unlocked 2 out of 7 quirks. Congratulations on that. And Deku's thinking like and saying like, wait, so I'm really unlocking other people, like your quirks, the previous user's quirks? And he's saying, yes, you are. You already unlocked Nana Shimoria's quirk. I think that's how you say her name. I'm not sure, but you already unlocked her quirk called Float. Since you are the 9th user and you're the strongest one right now, the One For All had made this quirk a lot stronger. So now you're able to fly instead of just floating. And now, so do you have my quirk called Black Whip? It's a lot harder, and like the whips are a lot stronger than the ones I had. Deku's saying like, really? That's crazy. He's saying, yeah. You should be careful though. Like, these quirks are pretty strong. Like, if you unlock too many too many early, like they might it might permanently damage your body. Deku says, "Okay, I'll be careful." And he says, "Good. Have fun. Have good luck being the next number one hero." The fifth user says. Then Deku, he wakes up. It's the next day. Then he realizes it's the training camp. Yeah, he realizes it's the training camp. So I'm gonna end it off here. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.